So far in our programs, we've been using hard-coded data to use when calculating formulas. We're going to start to ask the user to input that data so that we have more variable programming. And no pun intended, it's just that variables are supposed to change, and it's so much better and so much easier to manipulate data when you're asking the user to provide it for you. For that, we're going to be using the input function in Python. I'm going to navigate to Collaborate in Google and just start up a new notebook. In the new notebook, I'm going to write some simple code that will ask the user for some data. I'm going to name this notebook input, just so that I'll have it there later. And the input is fairly simple. We're going to first give it a variable name. In this case, it will be name. I'm going to ask for the user's name and say that name is equal to, it will be assigned the value of the input. I'll open up the function parentheses and give it a some text to display to the user. Please enter your name. Your name, colon. I'm adding the spaces just to make sure that it's a little bit readable on the screen. And that will input, or actually it will prompt the user for some input. If I run it now, it will simply prompt the user to type in a value. I'll put in my name. And nothing happens because we haven't told it to do anything with that data, but we have the input prompt started. To continue writing this little code, I'll go to the next line and repeat what has been input. I'll say print, parentheses, and then a quote, a hello message, hello, comma, space, and then concatenate the string that was just input, which was name. I will run it now, and I'll type in my name, and it will repeat hello, comma, Francisco, and that's because it's repeating the value of the variable name. Let's continue this and then ask a second question. I'll say age is equal to the input of the question. Please enter your age. I will then repeat print, quote, you said you are, space, close the quote, plus, and then concatenate age, plus, and then finish saying years old, period. So notice how I'm adding the spaces in the quotes so that the string is spaced out. These spaces here are just for my benefit so that I can read the code a little bit better, but they're not really needed. The ones inside the quotes for the string definitely you need. So let's see how this is running along. It says please enter your name. I'll type in my name. Please enter your age, and I'll type in my perennial lie of 39. It says you are 39 years old, so great. So now I have input a string that is my name, and I have input a variable that is my age. Now, is that correct? Let me do the spoiler alert. No, it's not correct because age, as it turns out, is not a variable. And let me show you what I mean by that. I'll try to have some fun here and say that if I say new age is going to be equal to the value of age plus 10, I will then print the message in 10 years you'll be, and then concatenate plus new age plus quote years old, period. So I'm beginning to see where the problem is going to be here. I'm trying to concatenate this result by saying new age, which is age plus 10. This is definitely going to be an integer. And I'm trying to concatenate an integer into a string. The program will not allow that. Let's try it. I gotta type in my name again. And then my age, 39 years old, and I get the error. You said you are plus age years old, and that worked. But new age is where the error is. You can only concatenate strings, not integers into string. Well, I think we know that we can represent an integer as a string if we say that this is going to be a string, str, open parentheses, and include new age. Let's see if that solves the problem. I'll type in my name again. I should just copy and paste it. My age is 39, and I get a different error. Not the same one. This one says you can only concatenate a string, not integers to strings. Well, actually, I think it is the same one. Well, what is the error? And the problem here is that the input function, whenever you type in name and it treats it as a string, that's fine because it's a string that I typed in. You at least expect to type in. The computer doesn't know though. So when it asks for your age, it's actually expecting a string. So what we have to do is we have to then take care of the conversion of the string ourselves. When we do the simple math of new age is equal to age plus 10, we need to say, well, when we're talking about age, just like we have done before with string, and said, take the string value of a number, we're going to take the integer value of this string, say int, and then age. That way, integer age, whatever it is we type in, can be treated as an integer, and we can add value to it with another integer, in this case 10. So the math will be done, integer age plus 10. In 10 years you will be, I don't need this string anymore, because new age, actually I do need the string, because we can't concatenate an integer into the quote. We have to say that our new integer, new age, is going to be displayed as a string inside of the statement print. Let's try this. Type in my name, if I can spell it. My age is 39, and it said you are 39 years old. In 10 years you will be 49 years old. So now it did the math because we were able to input a string into the value, convert the value into an integer, and then display it as a string again. With a little bit of practice and some exercises, I think that we can get this cleared up fairly quick. You just have to be conscious of what values you are working with, what data types you're using. But very specifically here, when you input a number, it's going to be taken as a string, and it's going to be up to the programmer to figure out what to do with that value. By the way, in future assignments, if you are going to be turning in notebooks, make sure that you have a name like this one, and share. Make sure that you can share the link with anyone, can change to anyone with the link, and then actually copy the link. And that's what you would be turning in. This is not an assignment, that's just a little note for you to know.